In the quiet village of Umadura, where red dusts clung to your slippers and evenings smelled of firewood and roasted corn, lived a boy named Tomiwa. Tomiwa had never seen a city before. He had never seen tall buildings, never seen traffic lights, never seen a bridge that stretched across a river like a giant's arm. But he had dreams, big ones. When he passed his primary school exams with good grades, his mother cried and hugged him tightly. "You will go far," she whispered, "further than this village." So Tomiwa was sent to live with his mother's cousin in the city of Asaba. The day he arrived, his eyes refused to blink. Cars everywhere, noise everywhere, lights that stayed on even at night. And then he saw it. The Great Niger Bridge. It stood tall and proud above the water, connecting two states like it was holding hands with the sky. Tomiwa froze. "That bridge connects Asaba to Onitsha," his cousin explained casually. But to Tomiwa, it wasn't casual. It was magic. From that day, he told himself one thing: I must cross that bridge. Not because he needed to, not because someone asked him to, but because to him, crossing that bridge meant he had truly arrived in the city. It meant he was no longer just a village boy. City school was different. The students spoke faster. Some laughed at his accent. Some mocked his simple clothes. Tomiwa felt small again. That was when he met Kelvin. Kelvin was confident, loud, always surrounded by friends. He wore nice sneakers and always had money to buy snacks during break. "Village boy," Kelvin teased the first day. "You won't survive here. You need sense." Tomiwa laughed nervously, but he wanted to belong. Slowly, Kelvin began showing him around. The best suya spot, the video game center, the shortcut roads. Then one afternoon, Kelvin and his friends were talking about crossing the bridge to hang out in Onitsha during the weekend. Tomiwa's heart jumped. "You people cross it like that?" he asked. Kelvin smirked. "Of course, but transport no be free." "How much?" Tomiwa asked quietly. Kelvin mentioned an amount that made Tomiwa's stomach twist. That was more than the small allowance his guardian gave him for 2 weeks. Kelvin noticed his silence. "No worry. If you want money fast, I fit show you way." At first, Tomiwa refused. His mother's voice echoed in his mind. Honesty is wealth. But every day he watched Kelvin buy food, buy airtime, walk with confidence. Other students respected him. Meanwhile, Tomiwa counted coins. One Friday, Kelvin pulled him aside. "See, it's simple. After school, we enter market. When crowd full, you just help distract small. Nothing serious. These traders make plenty money. They no go even notice." Tomiwa's throat dried. "You mean steal?" Big English. Na survival." That word stayed in Tomiwa's head. Survival. Was he not trying to survive in the city? The next market day, his legs felt heavy as he followed Kelvin. The noise of the market was overwhelming. Women shouting prices, generators humming, children crying. Kelvin gave him a signal. Tomiwa walked to a fruit stand and pretended to ask for prices. As the woman turned to pick oranges, Kelvin's hand moved quickly. It happened in seconds. They ran. Far. When they stopped, Kelvin laughed and handed Tomiwa some money. "See? Easy." Tomiwa stared at the money in his palm. It felt hot, wrong, heavy, but it was money. That weekend, they crossed the Niger Bridge. As the bus moved across it, Tomiwa stared down at the wide river. The wind blew against his face. The water shimmered under the sun. For a moment, he felt proud. I did it. But the pride didn't last long. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the fruit seller's face. What if that was her only sales for the day? What if she had children too? Still, Kelvin didn't stop, and neither did Tomiwa. One theft became two became three, and something began to change inside him. The fear reduced. The guilt became quieter, until the day everything went wrong. It was another busy afternoon in the market, but this time the trader noticed. Before Tomiwa could move, a strong hand grabbed his shirt. "Thief!" The word exploded into the air. Crowd gathered, voices rose, anger spread fast. Kelvin ran, but Tomiwa was caught. His heart pounded like it wanted to escape his chest. People shouted, someone slapped him, another person pulled his ear. He felt small again, smaller than when they mocked his village accent, smaller than when he first saw the bridge. This time, he felt like nothing. Police were called. At the station, as he sat on the cold bench, tears rolled silently, not because he was caught, but because he remembered his mother's face. His guardian came, disappointed, quiet, not shouting. Sometimes silence hurts more than noise. "Was this why your mother sent you here?" he asked calmly. Tomiwa didn't answer. The fruit seller had decided not to press charges after hearing he was a student, but the shame remained. At home that night, Tomiwa couldn't sleep. The bridge that once looked magical now looked different in his memory. It wasn't a symbol of arrival anymore. It was a reminder of the wrong path he took to feel important. The next week, Tomiwa went back to the market alone. His hands trembled as he approached the fruit seller. "I'm sorry," he said, voice shaking. "I was wrong." The woman studied him. After a long silence, she sighed. "If you want to make it right, come and help me arrange fruits after school. No pay, just service." For weeks, Tomiwa worked at her stand, sweeping, carrying baskets, arranging oranges. He learned how hard she worked, how she calculated profits carefully, how every missing money mattered. Slowly, shame turned into understanding, and understanding turned into growth. Months later, Tomiwa crossed the Niger Bridge again. This time, he paid with money he earned honestly, from helping at the fruit stand and tutoring a junior student in math. As the bus moved across the bridge, the wind touched his face again, but this time, the feeling was different. Calm, clean, earned. He realized something powerful. The bridge was never the real goal. Character was, and crossing into adulthood required more than boldness. It required integrity.